so dark. Okay, good evening, you guys. I gotta fix my camera because it needs to be coming over to the left a little bit. Looks like this is very vanilla, so it doesn't look right on the laptop, at least my laptop. But trying to get my laptop. Oh, there, I just lost the battery cord. Hold on. Yeah, it's going through some kind of scanning thing. I don't want that. All right. I'll just give it a couple seconds or minutes or whatever until I can get my laptop set here. Just bear with me. Our internet's really slow tonight, and I don't know why, because there's only 2 of us that live in this house. Okay. It just doesn't look very bright. It's so weird. I probably just turned that the wrong way. No, I got it right. Okay. Well, I think that's a little bit better. There's a little glare on the stamp set there, the case, but let me just move things over a little bit. I don't know if that's any better. How about if I put an ink pad underneath? Get it at an angle. Let's see what that does. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Who knows, an ink pad could help us out, right? Okay, so let's see who's on tonight. I remembered what day it was. Yeah, hey Teresa, nice to see you on board. Looks like Louise is here too. Louise, if you don't want to watch the make and takes, because you're going to be getting these, then don't. You might want to wait for our team gathering on March 9th. But in any event, it'd be nice to have you on. We're going to make some waves tonight. This is new product, and I'm still educating myself on it. For customers can order this tomorrow, March 1st, and that's why I wanted to kind of bring it on tonight and just talk about it a little bit. I'll make a couple cards. I think I'm going to make 2 tonight out of the 4, but I'll show you all 4 cards that I put together. And they're for our team gathering on March 9th, which is a Wednesday night at 7. So there's still time to join Stampin' Up! And receive those 2 free stamp sets. So highly suggest you taking advantage of that, especially if your order is $80, because you can just bump it up to $99 and get free shipping, and you receive $125 worth of product, plus 2 free stamp sets. And if you're just stamping as a hobby, you can still become a hobby demonstrator and not even be required to sell anything. You are your best customer. So if you're out there and listening, something worth to think about. Enough of that. I'm going to, and today's the last day of celebration, you guys. So if you have that, hold on just a second, my laptop. Okay, so sorry about that. So you got to take advantage. I think that closes out around 10 minutes before midnight tonight. So there's still a few hours to take advantage of celebration. So I'm not using any of that product tonight. I'm using new product. So I hope you're doing well. Let's see, Carol's on here too. So Carol, these are going to be our cards that we're going to make at our team gathering in March. But I thought I'd do it, bring these on tonight because this bundle is available. Let's see. It's called, all right, I bought the whole collection. So the whole collection is basically on a first come, first serve on the products that, not the stamp set and the dies, but the extras like the rhinestones, the foil paper. So it's available tomorrow until May 2nd. This product is in the annual catalog that's coming up. So if you are interested in the depths of the ocean and waves, blue theme, blue hues, sparkles, swirls, and paper with imagery of hand-poured paint, you'll be swimming in the sea of inspiration, right? You can craft a coastal collection for projects that'll make a splash. So we're going to go over it. In the ocean Waves of the Ocean collection, you receive the bundle, which is the stamp set here. And I'll go over the sentiments with you. They say, our friendship is a thing of beauty. You're so totally awesome. Happy birthday, and your strength is an inspiration. I love how these stamp. They're really nice, fun font. I love this ocean like wave here, how it stamps as well. I stamped mine in Night of Navy. The pelican here on the post here just so remind me of the ocean, right? And then there's a little bitty bird here, which you can stamp. It's a seagull, I would call. So it is a nice stamp set, and it is a cling stamp set. I have all my blocks. All the stamps are on blocks right now. Most of them fit. 3 of them fit on a, let me just make sure that's the right size. Yep. So 3 of them fit on a C block. So C and D blocks are my favorite. I put my sentiments on at a diagonal so that when I stamp, I'm not focused on the block itself. My eyes focus on the stamp set. So if you haven't tried that yet, do try it, because it's just a little tip that I like to give my customers and my downlines. Also, D block is for the pelican there. I've just put it at a diagonal. It does fit on a D block. This little seagull fits on an A block. And then I didn't have a block like this, and this is just, I don't know, something from my stash from when I began way back when, like 12 years ago. So I still have it because it reminds me of a Stampin' Up! Block. But anyway, our friendship is a thing of beauty. I did not use this stamp, but it kind of fits on a block that's a little bit bigger than the D block, about an inch bigger. So I don't know if that would be an I block or what have you, but and then the big ocean fits on an F block or your Stamparatus. So don't forget about your Stamparatus. The tricky thing about this wave is, I don't know if you can see it or not, but on the bottom here, there's that white space. It's about 1/4 of an inch. And you've got to, when you stamp your panel, you need to make sure that you're stamping it off the panel, because if you don't, it's going to leave this 1/4 of an inch border along the bottom of your paper. So, and I'll show you my wave that I stamped in just a second. I used for this card here, which is in Very Vanilla. I unfortunately don't have enough. I only have enough ribbon from the Flowers of Every, what is this called? Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. That is the best ribbon that go with these cards. It's in the annual catalog. And I have, when I make my cards, I make them and then I write my instructions and then I test my instructions. Can you see that these two papers, even though they're on the same sheet, those two cards look totally different, and it's just because of the paper, okay? Adding Wink of Stella on the little wave here is really fun as well. And I actually added Wink of Stella on the little pelican too. This one I colored in Petal Pink, and then this one is Soft Seafoam. But this ribbon here that I use is retired, so I have, I think, enough of the Gingham Just Jade ribbon here. This is all I have left, and I knew it wouldn't be enough for my team because I sent whoever ordered the make and take the ribbon as well. So I'm going to use this ribbon tonight so you can see the difference. And you kind of need a ribbon that has a dark color in it with the ocean paper. Also in that ribbon combo pack is that little twine here that is got some silver and let me just see, put it on here. Some silver and Misty Moonlight and white in that little thread, and it's intertwined. And then this is the white ribbon that comes in that combo pack. So you get 3 different choices, or it's a pack. So 3 different types of ribbon in one pack. So I did use this for one of my monthly card clubs, this pack, way in the beginning, probably when it was available. This is all I have left over from what I had. So let's go over, just so you can see real quick, what the dies look like. And they are super, like, I haven't used all of them, but I used the wave, which I used this one here. And the reason is because it's got this straight edge here and then the straight edge on the bottom. And it's going to match right up with the designer series paper. And then they've got another wave. So these kind of layer on top of each other. So you have a front wave and one that's just a little bit different. You have some seagulls. Okay. So they cut 2 out at a time. And then the sentiment dies look like this. And I love that you can, and I'm going to show you how I intertwined the ribbon on those. This is a highlight of a wave. And then this is another highlight of a wave here. And I'll show you the paper that's going to go with it. And then this is the die for the pelican in the post. And these 2 here are just simply clouds. Okay. So those are the dies. I'm not going to do any die cutting. However, I want you to know tomorrow, does anybody remember what's going to be on sale? I gave a hint last week that something is going to be on sale. Does anybody know? Does anybody remember from our conversation? Okay, so where did you get your die magnet holder? This, Karen, is from Stampin' Storage. This size is my most common size, and let me just tell you what size it is. It's 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And they're really super strong. I used to use the magnets from Walmart, and those just don't work for me. And I know some people use the magnet register covers. Those I never tried. I love these because the paper is super thick and the magnet's super strong. Okay, die cut and emboss. Yes, the mini die cut and emboss machine. Good job, Louise. It's this little machine here. It's going to be on sale tomorrow, and you can save 20%, okay? This is the mini cut and emboss, opens like that, and the plates on it are here. These are the ones I always use, 3, 2, and 2, and then if I'm going to emboss, I use the dark gray one. It's number 4. I do not use number 1. Number 1 for me, I think, is just a little bit too thick. So I don't use this one at all. These are the ones I use. So if you're having problems, you already have a mini cut and emboss, and you can't get this plate in, don't use it. Use number 3 instead. I'm going to tell you it works. Okay. And then this one, the dark one, is just for your embossing, but 20% off starting tomorrow. I'm going to pick up at least one of those, maybe 2, just because I like to give those away at my retreats, and I'll save a little bit of money too. Okay, so then let's go over. Sorry, I'm kind of like everywhere right tonight. Here's, and I don't know how this is going to look on camera. This is the foil paper, okay? This is silver. I'll go really quick because this could probably like kill your eyes right now. So silver, you get two sheets. And then here's this like turquoise color here. I'm not even going to like, it's really hard to see this. This is so shiny and bright. This is like a Pacific Point kind of color. So 3 different colors, and I'm going to get them out of the way because they're super, super shiny. The next thing you get in the collection would be the Rhinestone Waves Basic Jewels. And I've used quite a bit of these. This row here all had really big ones on it, and I only have 2 of that size left. But you got the blues, and it goes dark to light blues. Then it picks up the light blues, and then the greens. So you get a lot of different colors in here, and I know you can't see them as well as I can, but trust me, you're going to want the Rhinestone Waves Basic Jewels. Then the paper. I used quite a bit of it because I had to cut it up for my team. But I'm going to go over this really quick. There's some bits and pieces here. So if you love the ocean, love waves, this paper is for you. All right, so here's the dark side, okay? And then the opposite side is this color here, okay? So I use a lot of this pattern. As you can see, I don't have much left. And then this really dark blue one here, I'm going to use that one a lot too, okay? And then on the other side, it's got this really fun colors here. For a flamingo, I think it's, I didn't even look at the colors here. Let me just look over in the back. I love that Stampin' Up! Now puts the colors on the back. Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Night of Navy, Pacific Point, and Petal Pink, and of course white. Well, I use Very Vanilla on one of the cards, and that works too. Okay, so then this one is really fun. I love all the mixtures of colors in this one. Okay, so here's the big sheet that looks super fun. I love that Granny Apple Green in this paper. It really looks nice. And then of course the back side. Here's a really nice dark picture too. One thing I noticed, okay, this paper is directional. You may not think it, but Karen made a mistake and she cut one paper incorrectly, one panel. And I cut it so the waves are going up and down. Well, you know, waves go horizontally, right? So you do need to be careful of how you do cut the paper. On the opposite side, really, it doesn't matter. But you can see the waves are going this way. And just pay attention to the white because that kind of gives it away. Now this one is like a tidal wave, kind of. Like if you're underneath the water, like the surfers, you know, they end up underneath a big wave. That's probably what they look or they see. But then this opposite side here kind of reminds me, if you put it this way, turn it around. This could be the sand representing the sand, and that could be water. Or this could be a sunset, and this could be water, right? So 2 different ways you can look at that paper. And here's the other one. And then this one is another with the Granny Apple Green and just a different pattern. That's a Daffodil Delight. So here's the big one too. Sun. This reminds me of the sun. So this is a designer series paper. Now this designer series paper will not be in the annual catalog. So this is a first come first serve type of thing. And same with the rhinestones. These are not going to be carried over into the annual catalog. So first come first serve, right? Okay, so I'm putting that all aside. That's the collection. I'm going to get started creating the cards for you as promised. Actually, I'll show you the ones first. So my team will be making these cards if they chose to make the make and takes with me. So You're so totally awesome. I stamped the colors I'm using tonight: soft suede, night of navy, and crumb cake. Those are the only colors, and some blends. All right, so we're gonna make this one for sure. On the inside, I did not design. You know, I stamped my envelope though. So this is, I've got two, and then here's another one. I used the Fine Art Floral ribbon. And this kind of goes with the crumb cake stitched so sweetly. I didn't cut this white correctly, but on the next card, you'll see where I did cut it correctly. Now, these posts, it's easy to stamp this incorrectly. So again, with this post, you need to stamp over the edge so that you don't get like this white space here, okay? Because you need to get it over the edge, or else that's going to look super weird, right? And then here's another, that sentiment banner here with happy birthday. This you can put ribbon through as well, or do some kind of like knot tying maybe. That would be super cool. Kind of like the post, the rope that's on here. Maybe you could kind of do something down here. I don't know how to tie knots. Only the slip knot and like a shoe, like tie your shoes. And Karen needs to know how to tie knots before she goes hiking on the long trail in end of July and the whole month of August. So, all right. So I'm going to work on tying knots this summer. All right. Here's that big wave. Okay. So I stamped this on the basic white, and I stamped over the edge so I could get that nice crisp edge here. This sentiment fits in here nicely. And then these are just the seagulls that are stamped in soft suede. See how this sentiment is so awesome. Like, I love how they created this sentiment in different fonts. So cursive, all caps, and big. And then I wish I knew what the name of those fonts are, because that's super cool. Now, here's the first card I stamped. You can see, hopefully, I did not get it over the edge there, and that's how I learned. There's a little hairline of white there. Now, I could use my markers or, you know, my ink and color it in if I wanted to. But I did want to keep this here so I could show you. Don't do that, okay? Or you could just trim it off, you know, use your trimmer and stamp it off or cut it off. And then this is a 4-panel. I love this one. It's super fun. I sent my team members that ordered the make and takes a 3x3 so they can cut this when we do the cards together, because it's kind of a puzzle piece and I didn't want to mix up all the pieces there as well. So, and look at this. Your strength is an inspiration. I love the fonts in there. And then that's one of the waves that I cut out, and it did kind of go way over, and you just trim it off to the edge. And then here's another one too, and here's those rhinestones. Okay, so I believe I'm going to be making this card tonight because I think it's super fun and it shows the dies, and it's very easy. And then I wanted to show you the very vanilla one. So maybe on Friday on YouTube, I will stamp these 2 cards for you guys. But this is the one we're going to focus on first, okay? And let me just get all set up here. So I'm going to need the Pelican stamp, and I need the Totally Awesome, and I think that's it. Okay. So let me get my kit here out, and hopefully I have all the pieces. Just remember, I think if you haven't ordered the mini cut and emboss, I know you will love it. It sits right over here on my desk, like it's a foot away from me, so I can kind of use it whenever I want to. So I'm being really careful because there's 4 little seagulls die cut here, and I don't want to lose them. So I'm going to put them out of way on my camera mount here, just to, I didn't want to have to die cut too much tonight because I was explaining all the product. This ribbon I'm going to put aside because I want to use that other ribbon. And then here's my panel. So, all right, all the things I need to stamp on: this and this and my envelope. And I'm using soft suede ink for everything. So I'm going to open that up. And then let me just regroup here. Okay. I'm going to stamp the pelican first, because actually I do need to die cut this one. So you can see me die cut with a mini cut and emboss. Okay, so I'm going to just stamp this down. And here it is. It's very distinctive, right? You can see all the wood grains in the post. Okay, especially right on this side here. And that rope is very detailed. The sentiment barely fits in here, so hopefully I can get it on the first try, because I only have one backup. So this, you want to make sure you're stamping on the smooth side, because that's the correct side. This back side is rough. All right, so I'm going to bring this a little bit closer so I can hopefully get this straight for you. Okay, there we go. All right, so what's the pros and cons for the stamp and emboss? I have the big shot. Karen, it's very small. And it's probably, I think it's 2 pounds. And you can like set this up on your desk, and it's great to take with you if you are stamping on the go. I bring that to my in-person classes, which is great. But if you're going to craft a weekend away, and you're using the smaller dies and embossing folders, that's the one to go with, because it doesn't weigh a lot. It does not weigh a tremendous amount of weight, just 2 pounds. All right, forgot to stamp the sentiment there on the corner of my very vanilla envelope. All right, so we are all done stamping. I'm going to use that mini cut and emboss right now to die cut out this image here. So let me just grab that. And I don't want to lose any of these other pieces, because Karen sometimes does that at least 5 times on a live. Okay, so again, let me just make sure you can see this. I use plate number 4, and then I slide in plate number 2. And just to give you an idea of the area you can die cut, I don't include the very edges, because sometimes the pressure doesn't do a very good job on the edges on any kind of machine. So this plate here measures 3.5 inches, just about, okay? And it is 7 inches long. So you probably would be able to fit something that's like maybe 3 inches would be safe. Because, you know, sometimes we like to load up a plate with a lot of different dies, so we can make one pass. But with this one, you can do it. You can slide it over here, and you can put something here. You can put something down there. But I only have one thing to die cut for you today. So, and I didn't think, I got to get my die, which is over on my other table, but I've got it real quick. I use washi tape on here because we do not have a magnet plate that goes with this. But washi tape is so easy to use that it works fine. Plus, you don't have to transfer so many different plates. All right, so I got that die over there. Oh, I think I need to move it up just a little bit. So for me, I look at the post first, make sure it's lined up at the bottom. Then I look at the top of the head so I can see the round point of the bird's head. Okay, and hope it doesn't move. And then, oh, wait a minute. Shoot. I'm using the wrong plate. I'm getting that one out of there. That's for just embossing. Number 3, people, then number 2. And let me just double check my bird there. Okay, and then number 2. It doesn't matter which way these go in. I kind of, because they do warp just like any other die cutting machine. They will warp on you, and I like to put them in reverse, and you know, I like to change up the direction. So now all I'm going to do is push this a little bit, and then grab that handle, and then just transfer my left hand over, and you'll hear the little crackings, but that's normal. And then we can just close this up. Very easy. I'm putting it over here. And then we've got our plates. I'm going to put those over. I got a nice little box now. I did clean my craft room, you guys. I didn't die cut that out. It's okay, but you get the idea. So I shipped out my card clip on Saturday, which was awesome, on time, and maybe a day or two early. But the way the 26th fell on the month is a Saturday. So, but I worked really hard on Friday night after I did that live on YouTube and I got it all done. So I was super happy with that. Okay, so now let's work with the Very Vanilla. This is an A2 size card, so 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. Okay, and then we've got, this is Very Vanilla again. This is cut 3 3/4 by 5, just kind of like my designer series paper in my card clubs. So then I've got this piece of designer series paper. This paper, did I even tell you the name of it? And I don't have it memorized yet, so I got to cheat. It's called Waves of the Ocean 12 by 12. Okay, so I cut this 3 by 3, and the reason why is because you can get 2 pieces if you wanted to, if you're mass producing, and 1 rip, okay? So I'm going to look at this paper and figure out what I want on this card and what I don't. I think I want all this like bubbly stuff here. So I'm going to tear this way. So I'm just going to randomly go up and down, just to get some kind of wave effect. Okay, now I'm going to just lay this down just to see which one I will like the best. Because you can make 2 cards, or you can just cut this down 3 by like maybe, you could probably even get away with about 1.5, maybe 1 3/4, or even 2. So do I like that one or do I like this one? Well, this looks like really deep water, and quite honestly, pelicans and docks don't really sit in deep water. So I'm going to go with this here. All right. So another thing, when you're putting this pelican on, you don't want to put it on the top of the water, okay? Because then that's what it looks like. And honestly, you guys, that doesn't work, right? Like posts do not float around in water. They sit in the dirt, the sand, right? And they're anchored that way. So this has to go underneath the waves, okay? So how you do that is, I didn't get out any extra glue, so hopefully I don't have a mass issue with this. Let me get my silicone craft sheet. My hands did get a little sticky with this. Okay, so I've got this little pelican here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of the liquid glue here. You could use Stampin' Seal as well. All right, hold on. I got my, see, I organized everything, even my drawer here, so I know where everything is now. Let's see. All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit of glue like that. Then I'm going to place this. What you have to envision is where that little, your part up there is going to go, okay? Because you've got that ribbon. So I'm just going to aim this down here and then slide this under. And then I believe I have enough room where that sentiment is going to go. Okay. So then I'm just going to stick this together. Let me just flip it over. Okay. So that's going to sit while I work on the other part. We're going to take our sentiment, and this is just a loose panel, so can be a little hard. And I'm glad some of you guys on my team are watching this, because it took me a little while to figure out how to do this, but this is how Karen does it, okay? I'm gonna, all right. So what you could do instead of tying that bow, if you don't want a bow, then you're gonna take that and put it in the front way, and then you're gonna bring it back up through the left side. So it looks like that on the back. And you can just put it down like this if you want to do it that way, okay? You're going to have Stampin' Dimensionals under here. So that's how you can do it this way. And then you would just cut a 1/2 inch off and then tape it to the back side. Well, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do the bow, okay? So to do the bow, what you're going to want to do is you need to get a bunch of ribbon out and pull this. Figure out how much you need personally, because people tie different bows to tie a bow. So then I'm going to wrap this around, and probably that's about how much I'm going to use. So then I'm just going to simply, let me grab my ribbon scissors, trim this off. Okay. So I know about how much ribbon I'm going to use. And then you got to figure out, because one side usually uses more ribbon than the other. So I need to pull this ribbon underneath a little bit longer, I think. No, the top one, sorry. This, I don't want you guys to get scared. Like, this is so difficult. Don't get scared. You could simply tie a knot bow as well, but I'm trying to do a fancy like bow for you guys. So I'm going to try to do it like this. So I got my ribbon in place where I want it, hopefully. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to take, so this stays put, my tape. So I've got some tape here, and I'm just going to simply put the tape right here. Just that helps me keep that in place. And then I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals, and these are the regular size ones. Okay, and I'm going to add 3 just because I don't want this thing to buckle or anything like that. All right, so I got all those little backings off. Going to grab my little sentiment. I'm going to put it in the center, and then I'm going to put it down, wrap it around, and then that's being held, so it's going to stay in place now. And now I'm just going to, probably going to tie a knot bow, but we'll see if I can make a regular one. It's going to be tight. Ugh. Okay, let me just, I think I got it. This left one always flips on me. Okay, someday I'm going to get it. This is going to be a really tiny bow. There we go. And I want the bow to kind of go portrait way, because I don't really want it to cover up my sentiment. Okay, so there, I think that's okay. Now let me just take those ribbon scissors one more time, and I'm just going to cut this side here. And that'll be okay. That one doesn't need to be trimmed. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, you can always move that around a little bit. Now we're going to glue this on the bottom here. And I barely snuck it in there. Actually, we can move it up just a little bit. Just pull those dimensionals up. Grab it. Okay, and I'm going to just move it up just a little bit. Okay, that's better. So now that's stuck. And now I'm going to just take my liquid glue, bring it all the way around the wave, the edge, a little bit here, and then some all the way up here. All right, now I'm going to carefully flip this over. I could have used the back side of that, but I wanted to go with a lighter color because I've got the Just Jade there. So you can see how our colors really go nicely, even though Just Jade's not in this designer series paper. So I've got this designer series paper right on the edge the best I can. Okay. Now, just make sure this is all set down. We're going to flip this over and we're just going to simply pop this up with our Stampin' Dimensionals. You're going to want 5 of them, 1 on each corner and then 1 in the middle. Okay. And then let me find my take your pick tool. Let me just take these backings off really quickly. I found a Stampin' Dimensional backing at my work again. I swear, this static electricity takes them everywhere. Okay, so now we're just going to give this a little bit of dimension to give it some height. Then we're going to take these little seagulls that I've die cut in soft suede. There is a right and wrong side to these. You could use our adhesive sheets if you would like to. I don't do that. I like to use my liquid glue. So since I've got my sentiment a little bit different, I really can't sneak one in up there. So I'm just going to put this seagulls all on the bottom here. Now, since this cut out 4, you can put all 4 on here if you want. Or I just thought of another thing, because you guys know I like to use odd numbers because see, 4 kind of is, I think, distracting. So I'm going to try to put one somewhere else. So again, I'm just taking my liquid glue, putting it on the back side of that one. There, you could use tweezers as well. So there's 3. And then what would one of these little seagulls, and these seagulls are 2 different sizes as well. This one's larger and this one's a little bit smaller. All right, what if we put a seagull just on the inside? I'm just gonna stamp it. I'm gonna just put it on the inside because it's extra. Why not? Okay, so then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my, let's see, Petal Pink, Dark and Light. And for this one, I used my, the brush tip. So on the dark, I just colored in the beak, in the head with the dark. And then I used the light on his or her body. And then I got to use it on the, there's the legs are right here, but you probably can't see that. Let me just bring it up to the camera. I think I just brought it way too far. All right, so that is with Petal Pink. Now, the final touch would be definitely some Wink of Stella, because water sparkles, especially in the sun. And we also need to add some Wink of Stella on the bird as well. Let me just squeeze some of this in that brush. And then I'm going to put some Wink of Stella on the edge of the water, because usually that's where it sparkles if there's sun shining. And then I'm going to put some right here down on this blue. And then maybe just kind of brush it along. And you totally can't see that, I don't think, but it is sparkling, trust me. You could also put Wink of Stella on the seagulls as well if you wanted to. I'll do that for you so maybe you can see that. Everything is sparkling and fun. Okay, so that is all sparkly. All right, so now let's compare the ribbon so you can see, because I used retired ribbon on this sample here, and I did 2 different bows. So we'll put this one in the middle, and you can see what a smaller bow looks like versus a really large one. and versus the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. And you can see how Just Jade really works with this blue color scheme. Is that vanilla note card size? Nope. It is very vanilla, but it's an A2 size card. So the measurements, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, 3 3/4 by 5, and then I cut the designer series paper 3 by 3 3/4. You could do it 2 by 3 3/4 and just tear off the edge, but doing it 3 by 3, you can make 2 cards with one piece of the 3 by 3. And then this is what it would look like if you put the blue side on. So the wave is going a little bit differently, and it's a whole different theme. I would trim this down a lot more because this is like too big for this card. But you can see a totally different look on all 3 cards just because of the designer series paper. So that is card number 1. All right, and we're going to move over to card number 2. And the other 2 I will hopefully work on or bring you on Friday. So this is the next one we're going to make. And of course I did a sample card and then I tested my instructions. So you can see these cards, because of the designer series paper, looks totally different. There's lots of black or dark navy here. And there's not over on this one. There's a little bit in how the white travels as well. So let me just kind of pick up the very vanilla card and move it off to the side and bring in that other card. All right, it's right here. So this card will showcase the rhinestones that come in the collection. You can order them individually if you want. If you don't want the foil paper, I bought the whole collection. The collection costs, where's my paper? It's like, I think it's $79.25 off the top of my head, but it's not $80. But I believe it's $79 something and change. Okay, so let's move this off. And I'm going to take out everything here. This one should go pretty quickly because it's not that difficult. Okay, so here's our basic white envelope. Here's that huge die cut. Here, let me just put it on something darker so you can see it better. This is too large for a die or for your card, so we're going to trim it off. All right, so that's the wave. And then we've got, I sent these to my downlines, some rhinestones. And then here's a piece of the designer series paper that is cut 3 by 3. And then wait, that's not 3 by 3. Hold on. I don't think it is. Yeah, it is 3 by 3. And then the Night of Navy needs to be 3.5 by 3.5. So both squares, but a little bit different. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is, let me stamp. Okay, and we're going to use the Night of Navy as a dark. And then we're going to use Your Strength is an Inspiration. So let me just open this up. This is so super simple, you guys. All right. Don't overthink. And then this is the one I don't want to overthink because I'm stamping on the front of the card or the A2 card and I want to get it straight. And I think I'm going to test this first. Hold on. Okay. I did fix, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the cling, my last few clings are not as sticky as they first were. So I don't know, maybe they changed something in the design, but I kind of like it because I was able, because I didn't put the cling stamp on straight, I was able to take it off. Let me show you on something different that's not all inky. Actually, I don't have anything that's all inky. So let me just take my cleaner here and I'm just going to show you. It's easier to show you. So let me just take this off. Now, I didn't put the cling stamp on correctly, so it's stamped crooked. So I was able, last night, to peel the, I don't know if I can do it tonight. I was able to peel the sticker off the foam without it ripping. Okay, I could still do it probably tonight, but I'm not going to do it. So I tore it all off and then I put it back on and I got it on straight. So check your cling labels because I'm pretty sure they haven't said anything. I don't think they're as sticky as they used to be. All right, all my stamping is done. So now we're going to work with that paper. So this is 3x3. So you're just going to take your Stampin' trimmer and you're going to cut it 1.5. So cut it in half. All right. And you got to keep these in order by 1.5. Okay, and I'm going to put these off to the side up here out of the way so I don't mess them up. And then this one here is 1.5 by 1.5. So Louise and who else ordered? Debbie and Carol. You got a 3x3 in your envelope. It was all shipped today, by the way. You're just going to need to trim it down because it's a puzzle and you want to keep it in order. Okay, hopefully I just didn't mess that up. No, okay, so I've got this here and I've got this here. So everything still goes together. Now you're going to take your Night of Navy and you're going to take, I work from the left side, so I'm just going to use my glue and then add it 1/4 inch border on the top and the left side, and then I'm going to use the bottom one. And then the same thing, 1/4 inch border, and then the top one. Now, if you mess up your panels and you didn't get them in the right order, I don't think it's going to really matter. But this creates it creates a window pane. That's how I envision it. Okay, so now I've got that. The next step is to put the wave on because you're going to trim this off. And if you put this on the paper, the card base, you're not going to be able to trim it off, okay? Because you're going to still put Stampin' Dimensionals on the back, but this wave goes way past that panel. So take your silicone craft sheet, put it on your desk. Take your glue or whatever you use, whatever your favorite glue is, and just run it on the bigger areas. You can put more of the glue, but on the small areas, you just want to tap the tip of the bottle. Okay, so I'm just kind of like dabbing it. I'm going to flip this over. All right, and now this left side is straight and the bottom is straight. It's going to go along this left side along the edge of your designer series paper, and it's already on the edge of the bottom. You can also take a block so your hands don't get all sticky. Just take a block and press it down. Okay, especially over here because it's going on off the edge. Now, okay, I'm going to take my paper snips. I'm going to reverse it so I can see from the back side, and I'm just going to trim this right off. This is garbage, so that's going in my little bin there. So here we go. Here's your window pane, and we're going to add some more Stampin' Dimensionals to this one. So you can get away with 4 by just moving them in about 1/2 inch. I think it'll be just fine. Give them a good press, then take your pick tool and just dig into the foam, and then it comes off really nicely and stacked up, and boom, just throw them out. Okay, so now I'm going to take my base, card base, and I'm going to put this on the front, top, bottom, and left. I'm looking at before I settle with it, making sure I've got equal distance on all sides there and that it's straight, and then I'll press it down. Okay, now I was going to say, you can see where this one's about stamped in the same area. See, this is where I found out my stamp was not on correctly, the cling, because I stamped it like definitely was not straight. So now it is straight. You can take your stamp apparatus too and put this down as well to get a straight edge. The final step is to put on those rhinestones. So I'm going to take the ones that were in my kit, and I'm adding 5. And where'd that little one go? Here it is. It's on a little, like, 1/2 inch, not even, piece of that clear sheet there. So I've got 3 different colors. So this is the smallest of the, no, next to the smallest. I'm going to use my putty side. I haven't used the putty side in such a long time. Now it's stuck to the paper, of course. All right, got it. All right, so I'm going to put one over here, a dark one over here. I've got one more dark one, so I'm going to put it on the opposite side. And I'm just going to recreate, I want to put it up here. And then I've got 2 different blues. So this is a light blue. So I'm just going to put the light blue one over here. And then this other blue color. I'm forming a triangle over here, but a little different. Okay. Now, one more thing you can do, and it's super fun, is to take your Wink of Stella and just brush stroke over the white. Just brush stroke, okay? You don't have to like hit it really hard. Don't worry about it. Just brush stroke your glitter on all the white. You can also brush stroke it where these little waves are. I'll make sure I've got some, oh shoot, it just totally, look, it totally went in my hand and I should have used a tissue. Hold on. That's why I have Kleenex in my craft room. Now my hand's all glittery. So let me just dab that. And then you can just kind of like speckle it. You can also, oh shoot. You can also tap it as well to get that really nice glittery effect. So, oops, oh shoot, I ruined this card so bad. But make sure you don't have a lot of Wink of Stella in the brush, or else you're just going to have a disaster like I am. And that's going to be totally yucky, right? So what I'll do with this card is it's easy. I'm going to take this off and put it on another panel because this will come off really easily, right? And so what if I have to, like, put new Stampin' Dimensionals on it, because those are easy to take off. So wicked disaster going on here. I'm going to fix it on the spot, okay? Because I think I have a white panel over here, which I do. And this is thick basic white. I'm going to find my Native Navy and the Strength re-ink. Stamp that. And then we're going to fix that window pane. And you just kind of push them with your finger and they just kind of roll off. Okay, and then we just throw those out. And we're going to re-add 4 more. So again, we're going to take them a little bit inside, 1/2 inch on each corner. and then flick it. All right, and then this goes right back on. Looks good. I already got the Winkastella on this one, so I don't have to worry about it. But let's see if I can reuse the rhinestones. Maybe or maybe not. We'll see if I can. If not, it's the way it goes. Oh, I know what I can do. I can use liquid glue. All right, let's see if this is going to stick. Yep, that one works. And that one works. So this is quite a failure after all. I always have a problem. There we go. And I can reuse this white as, because there's two sides to every paper, I will probably just get rid of this and use this one because it's perfectly fine. So that's going in my scrap bin. Okay, so I hope I just taught you how to tear apart a card and put it all back together. All right, so let's look at these, all three of them. And this really is not a lot of work. The only work really is to die cut that wave. And I can tell you that this I've experienced will die cut very nicely. The only one that I kind of consistently had stay in there was this really, really tiny piece. And we all know that kind of will stay in those little tiny ones. But just use your fingernail or take your pick tool just to punch them out. But I die cut these in my mini cut and emboss, and I also die cut in my regular cut and emboss, and that worked perfectly. So that is the card we just made, and let me show you the very vanilla one if you're coming on late. I'll put the one here that has the current ribbon. Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. So it comes in 3 different ones. And then here's that gingham pool party. And pool party, you guys, looks really nice with this Coastal Cabana. It's very close. And then let me just push these up because you don't see the bottom. Okay. So there you go. Any questions? Let's see. Let's see. Let me go back to the beginning. I can go back and answer questions on Facebook. I can't on YouTube. So, all right. Yep, Karen Rowe, Diagonal Sentiments works really nicely. Give it a try. Let's see, Stampin' Storage for the magnet sheets. I always buy them when there's free shipping because they are heavy, and I usually buy like 2 packs of them. Yep, that DSP is pretty nice, Alice. Okay, I already told you the pros and the cons for the Stampin' Emboss, the mini. It is on sale tomorrow for 20% off, so don't forget about that. Pros and cons. Pros, it's lightweight, 2 pounds about, and I can take it on the go. I can sit it on my desk. It doesn't take up very much space at all. A lot of our dies will fit in it. Some embossing folders, but not the large ones, of course. It's easy to use, easy to crank. Cons, I don't really know what kind of cons there would be. I guess the only thing I would think about is your regular, if you have the regular cut and emboss, or like a lot of people have the Big Shot. The weight of the mini took me a little while to get used to because it is so light, and it kind of shook a little bit, and you just got to use it. So use it, and you'll love it. All right, what other comments do we watch? Nan's here. Nice. Love the bow and ribbon. Yep. Got lost for a while. You got lost, Teresa. Oh, the internet went out. Well, that's too bad. I'm sorry about that. Yep. A2 card. I'm very vanilla. Teresa, our congratulations in order today is your last day working full-time. Part-time starts tomorrow. Unfortunately. So, not a long story, but last week, I don't know if they purposely did this because they want me to stay. They piled on the work so much last week on Thursday that I was like, and I'm supposed to do this 24-page program guide. And Diane, if she's watching, she knows exactly what I'm talking about because her granddaughter is in a lot of our Parks and Rec programs. They piled on so much work on me that there's absolutely no way I'm going to make the deadline to get that program guide done. So Karen was a little smart because tomorrow for us, it's a government holiday. So by extending one more week, which I did, you guys, I will get paid tomorrow as a holiday. And I'm got 3 more days of 8-hour days. And then next week, absolutely, I will start a 30-day work week. And honestly, mentally, I will not be retired, okay? Because there is a chance that I could still go back to 40 hours. My first day of retirement will be on August or July 31st, because that'll be the last day I can technically work before I have to mandatorily take the full month of August off so I can get my pension check in the first week of September. I'm not allowed to go back to work until I receive that pension check in September. So a lot of you know I'm going to take that month off from stamping and crafting, but I'm going to preload a lot of videos that will come out. I won't be able to do any lives, but I am going to be hiking the Vermont Long Trail, which is 272 miles of rough terrain, backpacking with my friend Sarah. And we're going to give it a try. And if we don't make it, we don't make it. But our goal every day is to hike 10 miles a day with our backpacks that probably weigh about 23 to 25 pounds. And if you don't know where the Vermont Long Trail is, it starts at the border of Massachusetts and Vermont and goes all the way up to the Canadian border. So take a look at it tonight. Go Google Long Trail of Vermont. Green Mountains Club maintains it. And we're going to be sleeping in tents or the shelters amongst probably other people, because the Appalachian Trail and the Long Trail run together on the same trail for I don't know how many miles, like I think it's 100 or so, and then they branch off. So that first 100 miles or so is going to be pretty packed because Appalachian Trail hikers, they come through, a lot of them during July, June and July, and August are the peak months where I live, because I see them every day when I go to work. And I'm rambling. But anyway, it's going to be really busy in the first 100 miles, and the shelters are going to be full. So the only downside about that is if it's pouring and rain, the shelter's going to be full. So you either hike to the next shelter or you just sleep in your tent and hopefully you don't get wet. But I think we'll go off trail every like 4 days, because I don't think I can carry I think I can barely carry 4 days of food. And when you hike, you expend about 6,000 calories. And technically speaking, you can only get into your body about 2,000 or 3,000 calories, because when you hike and you eat a lot, you don't feel very good. And you don't have, like I've heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but you experience in the first couple weeks the desire not to eat for some reason. And I'll figure that out when I start to hike. But I know a good section of the trail. The only part that I'm really nervous about is Mount Mansfield. And it's very sketchy. But I don't think anybody's died. But there's literally 18 inches. So take this grid paper, add 2 inches about here. That's what you have to walk along on this like edge of a ledge. And I don't know how, I think it's like 6 feet, but on the left side, because we're going north, it's sheer death, like total death. So there's 2 different sections of Mount Mansfield, the chin and the forehead, as it's called, because it's the shape of a man's head, like face, the whole mountain. And I'm nervous about that. But this summer, I'm going to practice with my brother-in-law. So I got to do it mentally because I just got to do it. I'm afraid of heights. And we have to climb up 20-foot ladders too, a few of them right in a row. So anyway, I'm rambling. You probably don't want to know any more of that, but that is my gift to myself when I go into retirement. And I want to do it because I'm competitive, just like Sarah. We graduated from high school together. We were on softball team together, and we're so competitive. And she's got the patience to hike with me, even though she's much faster than me. So, and I could totally lose about 20 pounds, and that would be awesome. But anyway, I know I can do it. I'm going to do it. We just going to make it to the next shelter and maybe call it good or go to the next one. But anyway, we're not going to get eaten up by bears because they won't harm us. And I am going to carry a taser. I learned about the taser from one of our Appalachian Trail hikers that stayed with me. One night, because I'm a trail angel, she carries a taser. And I reached out to her this weekend and asked her about it. She sent me the link, Amazon link, and they're only like 20 or 25 bucks. So that is well worth my safety on the trail. So that is my story. I'm sticking to it. Card club. So I know some of you guys asked me about card club and what I'm going to be doing next month. Well, it's going to be that really fun paper. And I check the inventory list at least 6 times a day. This paper here, it is the New Horizon 6x6. It's very pretty. I'm going to team this up with the Grassy Grove bundle. Okay, I love this. Okay, I don't know. I think that's what I'm going to do. But I got to die cut this big piece because I've got to die cut this thing 50 times. And if it doesn't die cut very well, then I won't go with this. And I'll go with just a sentiment stamp. And what I'll do is mix and match the dies from Horizon dies and the deer from Grassy Grove bundle. And I will probably use some of the sentiments from Grassy Grove. So my card club will get designed tomorrow because I have the day off and I can do that early, and I'm going to get the email out hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow. So if you're not on my email list and you want to get the information on that my card club, it's $39 a month, and it's great. So I know Teresa can attest because she tells me all the time she loves the card club. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great night. It is 8:14, and I'm glad I was able to craft with you guys tonight on Make It Monday with some waves. So have a great night, and I'll see you guys on YouTube Friday at 7 o'clock. All right, take care.